We're picking up with the Miami Marlins franchise, and Mr. Andre Johnson is 3 for 4, but the player of the game so far has been Marcus Frisk. I mean, this guy's on second base. I think he has about 4 hits and a home run, and he scored some runs, so he's been huge, but we could try to knock him in right here, right now. Now we're going to see one from Andre Johnson. It's going to move Frisk over to third base. Frisk is going to test his arm home. It's going to be close. It's going to be a plate to plate. The throw is offline, and Marcus Frisk, just like that, one pitch, one swing, one run. The Miami Marlins are going to pick up a major W today. And as I mentioned, Marcus Frisk, 4 hits, 3 runs, a double, a home run, and 2 RBIs. I told you guys before, he's becoming the best player on this team. Now after that crucial win, we can take a look at the standings and see that we've been 6 and 4 in our last 10, which is probably the best in our division right now. And we're 60 and 7 in the year, which means we're 9 games back from the Phillies, who are 69 and 61. I don't know if we're going to make a push for the playoffs. It's going to be tough, but if you look at the wild card really quick, we're about 7.5 games back there, so the division's going to be tough. The wild card will be tough. Let's see if our team can pull this out. As most of you guys know, our disabled list has consisted of pretty much Sean Manaea the entire season. He, after 10 games, was put in the disabled list, and he's out for still 3 to 4 months at this point. And added to that now is Joe Ross, who broke his forearm in a game. A comebacker went right to him. He put his forearm up. Obviously, it shattered, and he's out for 1 to 2 more months. So Joe Ross is probably gone the rest of this year. Now here we go entering the 9th inning. Dakota Elrod is up. He's batting just shy of 300. 1 for 3 on the day, however, and the young fella's got an opportunity to shine right here. So we're down 2-1. Again, bottom of the 9th inning. Nobody on, nobody out for Dakota Elrod. So what can this team do to rally back? First pitch is down the middle. Elrod says, don't mind if I do. He hits it. The shortstop is there. He throws it at first. And if Elrod was considerably faster, he may have been safe, but instead, he's going to be out right there. Now up next is going to be Gleyber Torres, who has been a stud on the year. 2 for 3 with 2 singles and an RBI today. And we're hoping to get some magic from the young fella right here. So again, 1 out and nobody on for him as Dakota Elrod just kind of singled out over there to the shortstop. Torres is going to see one down the middle on the left-hand side, and he can't catch up to it. Torres has now worked himself into a 2-1 count after a pretty bad cut on that first one. Going to see another one outside, and it's a 3-1 count for him. Torres is now in a fantastic spot. A 3-1 count. He's got Zunino on deck. This one's down the middle. Oh, it actually goes to the bottom right-hand side. Torres is fast, but he's not fast enough, and they're going to throw him out for the 2nd out of the inning. Our only chance of really getting out of this game rests in the hands of Mike Zunino, who at the beginning of the year when we first got him was incredible, and since then he's tapered off a little bit. We've moved him back in the lineup some, but we're going to hope he can do something great here. The first pitch goes in as Zunino. Down low, and he whiffs on it. 0-1 count for Zunino now. Whoa, the nasty check swing, and that curveball is going to be a strike. The 0-2 count, potentially the end of the game right here. And that one goes to the shortstop. It looks like not 1, not 2, but 3 outs are going to the shortstop, and that will end the game. The Braves are going to walk out of here with the W. Unfortunately, with that loss, we're going to walk out of here with a really bad record in the year, 69 and 93. Don't forget, at one point, we were 60 and 70, and then, well, we went basically 9 and 23 to end the season, which is not exactly how you want to finish. Now that the season is over, let's recap some of the awards, and we'll look at both the National League and the American League. So for the National League, Anthony Rizzo is your MVP. Your Cy Young goes to Clayton Kershaw. Surprise, surprise. I mean, a 20-4 record is kind of nuts. He wins it for 3 years in a row, which again is pretty crazy. The batting title goes to Corey Seager, another Dodger. Reliever of the Year award goes to Hector Neris. Rookie of the Year actually goes to my player we put in the franchise, but apparently we have like blonde or strawberry blonde hair now, which is weird, but we'll take the award. Hank Aaron award goes to Corey Seager as well. We can skim through the Gold Gloves really quick. You can see the Mets guy, Mike Zunino, ended up taking the only award for our team this year as a Gold Glove for a catcher. Freddie Freeman at first base, Joe Panik at second, Nolan Arenado at third, Brandon Crawford at shortstop, Kristen Yelich at left field. We have Ender Inciarte at center field, AJ Pollock in right field. On the Silver Slugger side, Robbie Ray goes for the pitchers. Catcher is Evan Gattis. First base is Anthony Rizzo. Daniel Murphy at second base, who has been dominating this award for years and years. Third base, we're going to see Chris Bryant. Shortstop is Corey Seager. Again, surprise, surprise. McCutchen out here in the outfield. Domingo Santana again in the outfield. And then Lorenzo Cain, 2 Brewers, taking it home in the outfield. Your American League MVP is J.D. Martinez, who had a monster year. 52 home runs, a .338 average, and 140 RBIs. He's become the new Big Papi for this Boston Red Sox team. The Boston Red Sox also get the Cy Young and Chris Sale. Batting title goes to JD Martinez. Reliever of the year is Chris Davinsky. Rookie of the year is Brendan Mckay. Hank Aaron Award goes to Mike Trout. Gold Glove pitcher is Marcus Stroman. Catcher Wilson Ramos. At first base Mitch Moreland. Second base Tony Kemp. Third base Wilmer Flores. Shortstop Manny Machado. Left field is Justin Upton. Center field is Kevin Kiermaier. And right field is going to be Cole Calhoun. On the Silver Slugger side, your DH is JD Martinez. Catcher is Manny Pena. Paul Goldschmidt takes it home. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Second base is Brian Dozier. Miguel Sano at third. Francisco Lindor at shortstop. Your outfield is going to be Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton. And in the World Series, there's a pretty big battle going on, but the Red Sox defeat the Cubs, sorrow Theo Epstein, to win the 2019 World Series. Your postseason MVP in the National League is Jason Heyward. In the American League, surprise, surprise, is JD Martinez. And your World Series MVP ends up being none other than Mitch Moreland. Dude absolutely killed it with a .571 average, 2 home runs and 70 RBIs. I'm a little surprised that, we didn't see JD Martinez take it home, but still, incredible season by the Boston Red Sox. Looking at the retired players, a couple of names to note here. Alex Wimmers is the only guy from our team, and to be honest, I have no idea who that is. For the Yankees, you see Jacoby Ellsbury. Andre Ether also goes to retirement. Edwin Encarnacion is going to retire from the Indians. Albert Pujols finally hangs it up, and you got to imagine he'll be going into the Hall of Fame. And in a really weird series of events, Dante Bichette Jr. retires due to ability. I mean, he's pretty young, if I remember correctly. I mean, he's 27 and he retires. I'm surprised. And like I mentioned, we see Albert Pujols going to the Hall of Fame, a 19-year career, 622 home runs, so he didn't get to 700 like he obviously wanted to. Adrian Beltre also retires with a longer career than Pujols, almost 500 home runs for him, 1,700 RBIs, 100 plus stolen bases, almost a 300 average, and over 3,000 hits for both of those guys. Heck of a career by both of them. In terms of free agency, before we hop into the real free agency, we have 2 exclusive negotiations we have to basically get. Now, Alex Wood is a big player for our team. Brian Dwensing is 37, he's a 69, and honestly, I don't care for him. So Alex Wood, he's the main guy I want to focus on signing. So we can offer him 5 years at $32 million. I'm going to make it sweeter for him. I'm going to say, look, you get a player option in there too, and we're going to make it 32.5. There's no way he turns down this deal, right? And the good news is that Alex Wood accepts his offer, and we are good to head into regular free agency. Another big point of free agency is going through and making sure we get our arbitration taken care of. Now, Luis Castillo is priority number 1. If we don't really offer him a contract and he agrees to it by November 23rd, I think, then he's a free agent. So Luis Castillo, yeah, I want to go ahead and make him an offer because I want this guy long-term on our team. So we're going to say 5 years, $25 million. Look, your role is the ace. I don't want to even give you an option because I don't want you to potentially leave. We'll get you some run support. I promise you are 100% worth it. Next up is Yimi Garcia. Again, another guy that was killing it this year. 4-1 in the season for us. His ERA was 2.36. I'm willing to say $14.5 million, 5 years, a bullpen role for him. That should be good enough if you ask me. Nick Whitgren is also up, and I don't know if he's really worth big money, but I'm willing to give him about $3 million a year over the course of 5 years. If nothing else, he'll be expendable and he can be trade bait. Derek Dietrich is 30 and he's not super talented, but he is kind of a good guy to have coming off the bench. So look, we'll give you a platoon role and we'll give you about $2 million a year. And we also see a major deal where the Nationals signed Anthony Rizzo to a 7-year, $180+ million deal. Oh boy. The Red Sox also come in huge and get Garrett Cole to a 5-year, $89.6 million contract. Della Matanzas ends up going to the Angels, and that's a huge get for them. Looking at a few more free agency hires, you can see that the Dodgers got Addison Reed, a great addition to their bullpen. Our bullpen is kind of ridiculous, but honestly, I want to try to get Carlos Carrasco. I know we're not a contender, so his team quality rating for us is kind of garbage, but here's my plan. A 3-year deal with a player option. Tell him he's going to be one of our aces. We'll give him decent money. It might be enough to kind of bolster our bullpen to be the best in all the majors. The Angels now pick up Billy Hamilton, again adding to some speed out there, which is kind of weird because they have Mike Trout, but I assume they'll move either Trout or Billy Hamilton so they can keep both of them in their outfield. The Nationals have now put in Sonny Gray on a 3-year deal. In the biggest free agent signing since I've taken over the Marlins, we get Nolan Arenado. I know that we already have someone at third base, but don't worry, we're about to trade them. Now the Cubs came in and proposed a trade to us, and they want us to give up Trevor Richards, who hasn't really performed like I wanted him to, and they'll give us Kyle Rand, who's 2 years older, a few points overall higher. You know what, I'm willing to do that move, and we're going to shed a little bit of salary cap, so I'm all about that. Now at the last minute, the Twins come in and they offer Carlos Carrasco a pretty similar deal to what we're offering him, and he's more interested because, well, they're better on paper. So you know what, we're going to let him go out there, we'll withdraw our offer, and we'll look for better players. With us getting Nolan Arenado, it's no secret that I want to get rid of Kyle Seager, so teams aren't giving me the best deal, but I did find a pretty good one. We can get Jose Torres. If you look over here at the relief pitching side, he is the Padres' best relief pitcher at 83 overall. He's 26 years of age, and he's under contract for a couple of more years. If you look at J.A. Happ, well, he's 37 years of age, and I'm going to try to trade him ASAP, but for now, we're going to trade Kyle Seager. We're going to save a little bit of money, and I'm pretty happy. Now, Xander Bogaerts was a big topic of conversation in free agency, and he just got a major contract, 5 years, $100 and basically $10 million, and he's heading to Tampa Bay, which honestly, I did not see it all. And as you guys probably predicted, we did lose out on the Carlos Carrasco deal, but they got him for 3 years, $34.2 million. I'm not super mad about that. He would have been nice to have in our rotation, but we have a lot of good young pitching, so I'm fine with what we have. Now, you guys just saw where Carlos Carrasco ended up going to the Twins, but the Twins just traded him, so he's going to end up going to Philadelphia now. So Rhys Hoskins goes to the Twins, and then Philadelphia gets Carlos Carrasco and Carlos Vizcaino. That's a big deal. Another big trade just came through. Now, earlier in free agency, you saw Xander Bogaerts sign with Tampa Bay. They're also going to go ahead and trade for Yoan Moncada. So now their second base and their shortstop, the middle of their infield, is set for a long time to come, assuming they can re-sign Yoan Moncada. They traded Mallex Smith, Tony Kemp, and Rowdy Tellez for Yoan Moncada. That is one heck of a trade there. Something I definitely want to call out is that we're in year 3 of our contract, and as you can tell, in year 1, we went 68 and 94, so not the best. And in year 2, we went 69 and 93, which means that we won one more game in the second year. And now that I'm in the 3rd year of my contract, my job security is low. My GM rating is a C, and obviously I need to get a higher rating if I want to make sure that I stay as the GM of this team. So we need to finish over 500. I need to reach the postseason, and I need this team to win about 95 to 100 games this year. And because I'm basically trying to save my job at this point, I have to make sure that we upgrade in some areas where we're underperforming. And it's going to kill me to do this. We're going to go ahead and trade for Matt Olson, a first baseman who can also play right field. And we're going to be giving up Jimmy Shern, a starting pitcher who's really young with high potential. And we're also going to be giving up Dakota Elrod. Now, I know it kind of hurts me to do this. He's a good young player, but he regressed in season number 2, hit less home runs, same RBIs, batting average dropped off severely in more games played. I gotta make sure we ship someone out so we can get somebody good. Dakota Elrod is also not happy with the team right now because Gary Cooper has been rising up in overall rating, and Dakota has just kind of went down from like a 73 down to a 68. So we're gonna give him a change of scenery. We're gonna trade for Matt Olson, and I hope this trade pays off because we need some more wins. And because I feel like I'm in desperation right now, we are trading for Mookie Betts. So we're going to get Mookie Betts. We're going to give up Carlos Rodon, who is my 3rd best pitcher in the team. I know sometimes you got to give up something to get a little something. So we're trading him, Jamil Aziz, I'm sorry Jamil, and J.A. Happ, because I want to get rid of J.A. Happ's contract. Mookie Betts, welcome to the Miami Marlins. So with all of those ridiculous trades made, here's a look, and I'm going to run through the entire roster as with all the new trades, as well as all the rookies that got renamed. So keep a lookout for your name to see if you were one of the guys that got it. If you weren't, don't worry, there's an opportunity later in the season when we do the draft again. From a starting pitching perspective, Luis Castillo is still our ace. Now, we did sign this guy to a 5-year deal in the offseason. If you watched the entire video, you already know that. But behind him, we have Alex Wood, Sean Manaea, Joe Ross, and Sixto Sanchez and Alvin Morris. Those 2 guys are going to fight it out to see who can be the number 5 starter in our rotation. Behind them, we have Adam Conley, Adam Redmond, Jonathan Brish. I'm going to run through some of the other guys, but I think Sergio Gonzalez will have some good time, at least in the majors or at least in AAA, to refine some of his stuff. AJ Berry's there, Anderson Espinosa, Shane Bieber, Pablo Lopez, Miranda Gonzalez. Lots of people down here in our rotation, and we got rid of a lot of prospects, but still, we're pretty top-heavy for pitching in the majors. In the bullpen, I feel pretty good because we have Yimi Garcia and Nick Whitgren at the top. Jose Torres, obviously a new addition to our team, with Sean Burnett and Drew Streckenrider and Severino Gonzalez. To me, that's a really good squad, and Bobby Beamer, I think, will stay in the majors this year. He was lights out when he did come to the majors. Here's a good look at the rest of our guys. We have a couple new additions as well, and Josh Woo, is a 48 overall. So Josh, I'm just hoping you can, get your ratings up at some point. Closing pitchers, we have Sean Doolittle, who's returning this year, Carlos Cuevas, and Hank Chase, who has had a tough time and is still in AA. At catcher, we have Mike Zunino, Dylan Ruiz, and MJ Melendez. First base, obviously we pulled in Matt Olson after trading Dakota Elrod. We have Garrett Cooper, Skylar Ewing, and Will Allen in AA. Second base has Gleyber Torres, Sam Prophet, Peter Mooney, and Cito Culver. Third base now sports Nolan Arenado, Alex Rosandino, James Nelson, and Leo Gaddison. Shortstop still has Andre Johnson, Dominic Payne, and Chris Torres. It'll be a big year for Andre Johnson to see if he can kind of take that leap we're expecting. If not, he could be on the hot seat too. Left field, we have Marcus Frisk, Derek Dietrich, Austin Dean, Eric Campbell, and Vance Acosta. In center field, a little bit of movement, but Esteban Florial is still our #1 guy, with Monty Harrison a little bit behind him. Kyle Lewis, Braxton Lee, we have Brian Miller, and we have Derek Snorton Jr., one of the new rookies on the team. And in right field, the biggest addition we could have possibly gotten, Mookie Betts, 89 overall, which is going to be huge. Cameron Maben, the veteran, still behind him. Micah Montez there, and John Norwood as well. And in the next video, we're going to head into spring training, see what we can do, and hopefully this team gets everything to start clicking, and I'm really hoping that no injuries come our way. But I think we're finally in a good spot, a good mix of veterans, top talent on the pitching side, top talent on the hitting side. Just please make the playoffs this year so I don't get fired.